Hey, hey, this is Arrettres. I am the founder of Connecting Love and Marriage. I am so glad you were able to get on this call with me. Basically, I got a call or a message from someone who follows me on Facebook. Her name is, I believe it's Jana. Hopefully I said that correctly. It's Jana. But her question was, how can you stay with someone after they cheated? How do you do that? And before we can get to what happens after you decide to stay, I needed to take a step back with her to make sure she understands how to even get to that place where you say you're going to stay. Okay, because there's a couple questions that you need to ask yourself before you decide you're going to stay committed to this person that just cheated on you. Okay, so there's 5 questions, and I'm going to go over them with you right now. The first question is, determine if the relationship is worth it for you. You have to ask these questions like, are you married? Do you have children? How was the relationship before the affair? If the relationship was good before you found out about the affair or before the affair happened, you need to consider these things. Basically, if it was rocky before the affair, and y'all were having a hard time before the affair, you really got to rethink whether you want to stay committed to this and if it's even worth it. Or were you receiving the treatment you believe that you deserve? It's different from prior to marriage and after marriage. Prior to marriage, I say, look, if he cheated, sorry, there's just no. I mean, people do change. People get delivered. People get some act right in them and realize they messed up. Yes, they do. I don't think it's necessarily once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true. For some people it is. But I don't think that's true for everyone that makes a mistake, okay? I believe people can learn from their mistakes. But prior to marriage, it's just certain stuff that personally, look, but it's up to you. But after marriage, of course, that's a different thing. So that's why you need to consider, are you married? Do you have children? And how was the relationship other than the affair? Is it worth it for you to stay? Number 2, has he made amends and does he take full ownership of what he's done? If he takes full responsibility for his actions, he doesn't play the blame game, because sometimes they'll cheat and they'll say, well, you weren't doing this and you weren't doing, because you weren't getting your hair done anymore, because you gained a little weight, because you were tending too much to the children. They'll try to play that blame game and say, well, it's your fault I cheated. No. Okay. Everyone's responsible for their own actions. Whatever you decide to do during your marriage is up to you. Okay. If you decide to cheat or if you decide to stay committed, that's based on what you want. Because I've seen people who were in supposedly happy marriages, and when you ask them, why did you cheat? I was bored. There's some people who just, they just can't do anything other than it. But that's something and realistically, with those people, there was something going on inside of them. They were having some kind of security issues underlining that needed to be addressed, and that had nothing to do with their spouse. Okay, so getting back to my point, have they made amends and do they take full ownership for what they have done? You don't want to stay committed and all they're doing is playing the blame game and saying everything's your fault. Okay, you want to know that they have stood up and said, you know what, I did this, I shouldn't have done it, and I'm sorry. Okay, number 3, is he willing to do what is necessary to rebuild trust? Okay, this is getting to the hard part, because rebuilding trust after infidelity is work. Okay, you're gonna have to be committed to doing things that you didn't have to do before. Okay, for example, you as a woman, you have to get to a point where you feel comfortable and safe with this person now. When someone cheats on you, safety is out the window. You no longer feel that this person can protect you, not even from themselves. Okay, so in order for you to feel safe again, that trust needs to be reestablished and built over time. Okay, do you believe him? Okay, you need to stop. And you know, women, we have ways of knowing things. We know. Okay, we're better than the FBI when it comes to stuff. We know when something is happening, and we know how to get that research done to confirm or negate what we believe is happening. Okay, so do you believe he is now committed? Do you believe at this point that he's serious about his commitment to you? Okay, trust that feeling. Trust when your spirit is telling you, run away. Once again, that's before marriage now. After marriage, we got to work some stuff out and let the Lord do what needs to be done. But yeah, trust your gut and know when they're, now, if they're, let's stand corrected. If they are a repeat offender in marriage, or even if it's the first time in marriage, some healthy boundaries need to be established. Let's be clear. It's not just like my friends, most of my close friends know that I have an issue with affairs, specifically because of my upbringing and things that happened in my childhood. And when I think of an affair, I think of people running out, having unprotected sex, bringing home STDs and stuff that needs medication for you to get rid of, you know, and some stuff that you cannot get rid of and you have to live with for the rest of your life. That's what I think of. Okay, so I'm really funny about, okay, what? He cheated? You know, I pause because I instantly go to STDs, medication, stuff you gotta live with for the rest of your life, stuff that can kill you before your time. This is all stuff that I think of subconsciously in the back of my head. So I say that to say healthy boundaries must be established if they're cheating, and I'll have to talk about that in another video about when you're married, because you need to be tested. I believe you need to be tested. I believe that there's a thorough wifey investigation. We'll talk about a wifey investigation later on. Because for your safety and your children's safety, you need to make sure you're protecting yourself. Okay. But anywho, let me get back to my point. Both must engage in total transparency. Give up those passwords. If you are no longer having this affair, and if you are serious about building this relationship, you should have no problem in doing this. Okay? But that goes both ways. You're giving your password, he's giving his password. This way, y'all are keeping tabs on each other. Okay? Ladies, do not use this as an opportunity to be to hound your husband and try to find something. Oh, let me find what he's doing. No, this is just, let's confirm that everything's okay. You're not doing anything out there that's going to break up our happy home. Okay? You're not doing this with let me find out what you're doing. What's really going on? We're not doing it like that. It's just, honey, you know, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. You know, I saw a little something, heard a little something, you know. Let me check Facebook. Let me get in them DMs. Let me see who in them DMs. Let's make sure. I'm just saying, okay? Because, and it's not, and you know, I don't do that to my husband now, thank God. I don't have a reason to right now. Bless Jesus. Keep me near the cross and cover him and protect him, Jesus. But it's in order to reestablish trust, you're going to have to do things that you didn't have to do before. Okay? If you were having an affair with somebody and they were texting you, I think it's only fair that I get to look at these messages and make sure that person is not contacting you again. Just saying. It is what it is. Okay? So once again, staying after he's cheated. Number one, determine if the relationship is worth it for you. Number two, has he made amends and does he take full ownership for what he has done? Number three, is he willing to do what is necessary to rebuild trust? Okay. Next, number four, are you willing to forgive him? This is a tough one, and this is a real question, okay? Because you have to take an honest look. Just because, there's times you can stay in a marriage and you have not forgiven him. Just because you stay doesn't mean you've forgiven him. And the thing about forgiveness, you have to understand forgiveness is not for them. It's mostly for you. It's so that you can prevent bitterness and the wrath of a scorned woman from growing in your heart. Okay? You want to protect yourself and free yourself to love. Be clear. When you are holding unforgiveness against someone over here, it manifests all over here. It just manifests. Every relationship you have, it just seeps out of your pores. So you want to make sure that you stay in the up and up. Make sure that you are cleansed from all unforgiveness for you. Okay. Forgiveness does not release them from having to rebuild trust. Okay. Even though you forgive them, they still have to rebuild that trust. They still have to do those things that will let you know that they are serious, that they are dedicated, that they're committed. Okay. And it's okay to take a little time for your healing process before you forgive. And before you forgive, basically, you find out your boo cheated on you on Sunday. I am not expecting you on Monday to be in a forgiving spirit. I mean, maybe it's just me. I'll just be honest. Monday, you don't want to talk to me. I'm gonna need you to give me a couple days. I'm just saying. I love the Lord, and I strive to be Christ-like in all my ways. But I'm a woman. Monday, you don't want to talk to me yet. You don't want to. You don't want to. Mm-mm. It's not gonna end well. I'm Christ. I'm not being Christ-like. No. No. I'll get back to you. And I will let you know when I'm all right. Now, once God can do anything. I can find out Sunday, and by Monday, the Lord has done a miraculous work on me, and I'm ready to start building. Just knowing Arrettres, I'm one of God's difficult children. I'm one of his hard-headed ones. I'm a firecracker. So on Monday, I'm still looking at you like. So take time for yourself to forgive. Go through that healing process, okay? Before you actually commit to, okay, I'm ready, all in, time for forgiveness. Let's start building, okay? Number 5, are you both ready to do the work? It's hard work, okay? I did a little research, and the healing process from after the affair to the time when they are now at a stable plane where they're able to function and everything, they're now cool with each other and everything's smooth. That process takes between 1 to 2 years. That's 1 to 2 years of work. That's 1 to 2 years of building, okay? Remember, this is not like in the beginning of the relationship where you're starting with, oh, he's so wonderful. He bought me flowers. He opened my door, took me to dinner. Now we're at a place where this joker cheated on me. Lots of anger, lots of rage, a lot of hurt feelings. So it normally takes about 2 years for you to get from there to the point where you're good. Where you're good. Now, it might not take full 2 years, but let's be realistic. I tell you 2 years, between 1 and 2 years, because I want you, look, you're going to do this. Don't be upset 2 months after when you say everything's not 100%. Okay? It's going to take you some time. Why is it? Part of the hard work is you're going to have tough conversations. Okay? If he's not willing to have those tough conversations about what happened, plus if you're not able to have the tough conversations about what happens, it has to happen. You have to be able to have that tough conversation where you get it all out, put it all on the table. That's when the healing can begin. It's kind of like if you have an infection. Years and years and years and years ago, like I'm ancient, years ago, I had a staph infection. And I thought it was healing. I thought it was getting better, but they didn't get all of the infection out. And it grew back worse. And I ended up having to have like surgery to have it all removed. If they had just gotten all the infection out the first time and dealt with all the work it requires to get all the infection out the first time, it wouldn't have grown back and it wouldn't have come back as strong as it did. Okay? Same thing with this issue in your marriage. If you don't dig and get to the root of this problem and deal with it and have these tough conversations, if you don't do that in the beginning of your healing process, it's going to come back at some point. And you can't determine how it's going to come back. It might come back as rage from you. It might come back where you want payback. It might come back where he decides, well, let me jump out there again. You just got to deal with it. I'm never justifying him cheating, ever. Okay. Next, remain in touch with your feelings. When you're angry, when you're sad, when you're confused, know those feelings, know the difference between them. Okay. Every feeling is not anger. Okay. I was raised in a family where every emotion was anger. When you were scared, you're angry. When you're sad, you're angry. When you're hurt, you're angry. No, I'm sad. No, I'm scared. No, I don't feel safe. Okay, so you need to be in touch with your emotions and know exactly what you're feeling and express it as that. Don't express it as anger if it's really sadness. Okay, so be clear about your emotions. Next, open to counseling. You need to both be open to counseling because of this journey. You need to be able to sit down with someone who's a third party who can rationally draw a line between everything, part the Red Sea, somewhat, and help you see the path you need to be going down. Guide you down and give you some strategies and some tools that you can use to help pave the way for healing. Okay. Counseling can be done by your church, your pastor. It could be done by, hopefully, your church, you have a ministry there that helps couples and gives counseling, or another mentor couple that you trust and who's been married for some time and they've been through, the fire and can help you navigate through this. Trained professionals. That's where I come in, since I'm a relationship consultant, I can also help you in teaching you strategies for communicating better, dealing with that pain that you experience from the infidelity, because that's hurt. That's a wound. That's major. That's major. And you'll need someone to help you through that. So if you're interested in my services, click the link in my bio and you can schedule a free discovery call with me. It's 15 minutes. We get to chat for a little bit. I find out a little bit information about you. And then I tell you how I can best help you, or if I can help you, and see, if we can work together. Okay. So be open to counseling. Know when to stop asking questions. Okay. Sometimes we can beat a dead horse. Like, the conversation started at 5:00. It's now midnight. Like, you wonder why he ain't responding no more. He's numb. He's just waiting for Jesus to call him home at this point. He's just any way to make the hurting stop. Okay. You have to know when to stop asking questions and when the conversation is going nowhere, when it is no longer a productive conversation. Okay. I say You got 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to get this out, get deep in the conversation, and then come up for air. Okay? But if not, you're going to create a toxic environment where every day, all day, we're talking about the affair. You cannot heal if you're constantly talking about the affair. Okay? Also, know what questions you don't want to ask. There's certain questions you don't want to ask. You know, you may feel the need to ask them, but I really need you to know yourself and knowing the answer to that question is only going to make the situation worse for you. Okay? Let me give you an example. What did you like about her? It's not a good question. That's just not a good. I don't care what you liked about her. Don't tell me what you liked about her. Him telling you what he liked about her is only going to make you feel more insecure about you, and it's only going to make you want to hurt him more and hurt her more. Okay? That's not going to end well for you. That's just, you're opening up the door for insecurity. Don't do it. So know which questions you need to know the answers to and which ones you don't need to know the answers to. Okay? Another point that I want you to consider, because I was in one of my coaching sessions, the young lady was having a hard time because husband cheated, and she did not want to, all of her friends, which were single, that's a whole nother topic. I have another blog post about that. Married woman with single friends. You know, you gotta have the right ones that love marriage. But anywho, all her single friends were telling her, leave him. You don't need him. You can do better than him. Be careful who you are receiving your counsel from. Okay, the Bible says wise counsel. Wise. What ended up happening to her? Friends kept saying, you don't need him, you don't need him, you don't need him. Okay, she left him. Well, guess who was dating him not even a couple months later? Your homegirl, really? Is that what happened? The same homegirl that told you to leave him? Not cool. Not cool. But you listen to her. You gotta be careful. That's all I'm saying. So that's just a little extra. That was just a little, something extra on the side. But do not feel you're alone. There are in the article, the studies that I read, it said 40 to 50 couples experience infidelity in some way. That's a lot. That's at least half marriages, almost half marriages. At some point in their marriage, they experience infidelity. And it even went even further to say within the first 1 to 2 years of marriage, infidelity occurs. So you're not alone. And you're also not alone if you stay. 60 to 75% of couples' marriages, couples who stay together after an infidelity occurs, stay together and make it work and end up having a blissful marriage. 60 to 75% said, you know what, you cheated or I cheated, we're going to make this work. And they did. So don't feel like you're by yourself. Like, if I don't leave this man now, I'm going to look stupid. I can do, but just stop for a minute. Answer these 5 questions. One you can't overlook to determine if the relationship is worth it for you. Not for your mama, not for your auntie, not for your cousins, not for your girlfriend, not for your sister. Is this relationship worth it for you? Was he doing the things that he was supposed to do prior to this affair? Has he made amends with you? Do you believe he's made amends with you? Is he willing to do the work to rebuild trust? Okay. Are you willing to forgive him? And are you both ready to do the work? You gotta get some people out of your ear and get with yourself and get with God. Prayer is a game changer. You don't know what to do, get with God. Okay? Just stop all the noise, stop all the insanity that's going on in your head, and just get with God and get clear about what you need to do in your next step. Sometimes God will just tell you to be quiet and sit still. Let him do the rest. Sometimes that's what he'll say. He don't need our help. That's a wonderful thing about God. I love that he does not need my help. I promise you, I'll mess it up every single time. My plan and my theory about what needs to happen, it ain't always what's best for me. So I need to trust and be confident that he's got it. And I don't have to worry about it at all, ever. So don't let anyone tell you what to do. This is your life. This is your love. At the end of the day, it's you and him in that bed together. Hopefully it's just him and you. I'm just saying, like, each his own. I know the bed is undefiled, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just think it's supposed to be two people. I don't know. Look. I'm just saying, it really just will be two people. I believe. Only two people in the bed. Okay, so I just recapped. If you didn't get it, it is staying after he cheated. Number one, determine if the relationship is worth it for you. Number two, has he made amends and does he take full ownership of what he has done? Number three, is he willing to do the work that is required to build trust? Number four, are you willing to forgive him? And number five, are you both ready to do the work? Okay, remember number 3 and number 5 kind of sound the same, but 3 is rebuilding trust, 5 is doing the work. Okay. I have a couple things to show y'all. I'm super excited about my workbook. I finished it. Can you see it? Can you see it? I've been working on this thing for months. I tell you, months and months and months. Basically, it's called Help, and it says how to stay married when times get tough. It's a 57-page workbook, and it covers different steps to take when things are going on in your marriage, strategies you can use, scriptures that will help you in your marriage, connecting with your creator. It even has a little questionnaire in here, and I love this questionnaire, where you and your spouse talk about expectations that you have in marriage. Because sometimes we're mad at our spouse for something that we expected them to do something, but that's not even in their understanding. They didn't even think anything about that. Like, wait, what? Oh, I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know that was a request. So, so it has the questionnaire for you and your spouse. I love this one also. Step 4 is how change what you're feeding yourself. Not literally eating, but what you're digesting mentally. Oh, here comes my baby. She came busting through the door like she the police. Anywho, this right now is only $29. I'm super excited about it. Hi, Mama. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know, Mama. Go ahead. Okay. So this is only $29. Okay. You can grab a copy of it by going to my link in my bio. It'll say Help, how to stay married when times get tough. You can also click the link in my bio to get a free discovery call with me. That's where we'll get on the phone for about 15 minutes. We'll talk about what you're currently working on or a challenge that you're facing in your relationship. And then see if we can possibly work together. See if there's something I can do to help you. Okay. And number 3, you can also book me to speak at your next event. Okay. Mostly speak at women's conferences or things like that, and in small group settings or at meetups for women who are married and who just need the extra support. So give me a call or DM me. If you click the link in my bio, once again, you can hit the link where it says book me to speak. So there's 3 options you should be clicking on. Help for my workbook, which is 20 help, how to stay married when times get tough. 2, book a discovery call, which is free. And 3, book me to speak at your next event. I hope this was helpful. Once again, this is Arrettres Collins. I am the founder. Hey, young lady, thank you. She would come in now. The life of a mompreneur. I'm just saying, it's real life over here. It's real things happen. I'm not even in denial about it. The older Reaches would have been like, oh my gosh, my baby came in. Now it's just like, I'm a mom. It is what it is. Okay? So, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, click the link in my bio. Look at the descriptions below. And let's see how we can work together. Love you and have an amazing week. All right? Bye-bye.